What if I told you a baby could be born perfectly healthy, but without a skull? It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? Well, today we're diving into a real-life medical case that is challenging everything we thought we knew about a condition that was considered totally impossible to survive. All right, let's jump right in. Take a good look at this. It's a 3D reconstruction from a CT scan. You can clearly see the facial bones, the jaw, the eye sockets. It's all there. But what's missing? What is so obviously, so glaringly absent from the top of this infant's head? So that huge, dramatic absence has a name. And it's really the key to this whole story. It's a diagnosis that, up until very recently, has been seen as a near certain death sentence. The condition is called Acalvaria. It's an unbelievably rare birth defect where the flat bones that make up the top of your skull, doctors call it the calvaria, they just don't develop. But here's the wild part. The face, the base of the skull, and most importantly, the brain itself are usually completely normal. Think of it this way. The calvaria is literally the brain's built-in helmet. It's that hard, bony case that protects our most important organ from all the bumps and scrapes of everyday life. And in a baby with acalvaria, that helmet is just gone. Okay, so you can probably guess the stakes are incredibly high here. To really understand just how groundbreaking this one case is, we have to look back at the devastating history of this diagnosis. First off, let's talk about how rare this is. I mean, we're talking extremely rare. In all of recorded medical history, there have been fewer than 30 documented cases of acalvaria. That's not 30 a year, that's 30 total, ever. It's one of the rarest conditions known to science. And this table, well, it tells a really heartbreaking story. Just scan down that outcome column. You see the pattern, right? Neonatal death, neonatal death, neonatal death. It was a grim, established medical certainty until you get to that very last line. Yep, the medical world was pretty much unanimous on this one. The textbooks, the reports, they all said the same thing. This condition was considered fatal right after birth, usually from trauma to that unprotected brain or some kind of infection. End of story. But what happens when the impossible happens? Enter a baby boy from Egypt who was about to completely rewrite the book on Acalvaria. So let's meet this little guy. He was born full term with great APGAR scores. Those are the immediate health checks a baby gets. No complications, he was eating well, growing normally, by all accounts just a happy, thriving 3-month-old infant. To really get a sense of what the doctors were seeing, let's put this side by side. On the one hand, here's what an infant's skull should look like, a complete, protective shell of bone. And on the other hand, here's this infant's reality. That entire upper structure is missing. And wow, this 3D scan just brings it all home. This is him. You can see his face, his jaw, all perfectly formed. But up top, where all that protective bone should be, there's nothing but soft tissue covering his brain. So the million-dollar question is, how? How is this child not just surviving, but actually thriving? To find out, we've got to look deeper. We've got to look inside his head. So what we're looking at here are CT scans. Think of them like slices of his head, looking down from above. You see the outer edge? Normally, you'd see a bright white ring of bone all the way around. Here, it's just not there. But, and this is the part that is just absolutely incredible, here are his MRI scans. And what they show is a brain that is perfectly, completely normal. The actual brain tissue, the part that does all the work, is well developed and right on track for his age. And look, this isn't just a story about some pictures on a screen. This translated into the real world. During his physical exams, the baby had 0 neurological problems. His reflexes were normal, he was hitting all his developmental milestones. He was, for all intents and purposes, a normal baby. So what you have here is a child who has defied a medical absolute. This isn't just a new page, it's a whole new chapter for understanding Acalvaria. So the question is, what do you do now? What's the plan? Well, a whole team of experts came together and mapped out his future. For now, it's just careful monitoring. Let him keep growing and developing. Then, when he starts walking around age 1, he'll get a custom-fitted protective helmet. They'll keep doing regular scans to make sure his brain stays healthy, and way down the line, surgery to actually build him a skull might even be an option. You see, this is so much bigger than just one amazing success story. This one case fundamentally changes the game. It proves that a condition everyone thought was universally fatal might not be. It expands our entire understanding of what's possible. And that really leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? This one child from Egypt challenged a medical certainty that had stood for decades. It just makes you wonder, what else do we think is impossible? What other medical facts are just waiting for one anomaly, one little miracle, to come along and prove us all wrong?